All right, so staff NCOIC, we're going to talk about the 7 responsibilities of staff NCOIC. Good?
Yes.
Okay. So the 7 steps of 7 duties and responsibilities of staff NCOIC: shipping, contracting, develop plans, set objectives, maximize prospecting, train recruiters, and utilize programs. Correct?
Yes.
Okay. So in this order, right? In this order, number 1 thing is what?
Shipping measures.
Shipping. Right?
Yes.
Shipping is what?
King.
King. So what this is saying, what the 7 responsibilities is saying, is these: if you do all 6 of these, then you should be able to do what?
Make shipping.
Make shipping, right?
Yes.
So we're going to find out right now if staff NCOIC is doing his or her job. Good?
Yes.
So we're gonna start at the bottom. We're going to work our way up. So number 7, it says utilize or maximize our programs. Right? So when we're talking programs, what are we talking about?
We're talking about the EPPC programs.
Okay, that's one.
Pool program. Command recruiting program.
Okay.
And your high school community college program.
Okay. Okay. So these are our programs. As staff NCOIC, you are in charge of, right?
Yes.
What this is saying, systematic recruiting is saying, is if I manage these programs correctly, it's going to help further my way up into what?
Shipping.
Into the shipping piece, right?
Yes.
Okay. So the EPPC program, right, is supposed to generate how many of your contracts?
It's supposed to generate 15%.
15%? Okay. 17%.
17%.
17%. We're good, right? We're good. 17%. So what is his number of contracts that come from EPPC percent?
As of the end of last month, it's 0, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, so 0%. All right. From the pool, it's supposed to be what?
From the pool, it's supposed to be 25%.
25%. That is correct. What is he getting from the pool?
20%.
20%. All right. Command recruiting.
Command recruiting is 15%.
That is absolutely correct. And what is he getting from command recruiting?
33%.
Holy goodness, you're a superstar.
As you were 40%.
40%.
Yeah.
Goodness gracious. Okay. Now the high school community college, how many contracts that's supposed to generate?
That's supposed to be your 40% from your Marines doing their prospecting.
Okay. So the recruiter generated, right?
Yes.
So, but the big thing, what do we grade the high school community college program on? Like when your XO's calling you and saying
Milestones.
milestones. Okay. What specifically?
Your first senior.
First senior attainment, right? So first senior attainment, you have how many priority schools?
I have
6?
7.
7. You have 7. How many first seniors does he have out of his prize schools?
You got 4 or 6.
He's 4 or 6?
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
He's 4 or 6, right? So would you make that a check in the box is good to go?
No.
Right? Are you where you're supposed to be currently in this month? Where you're supposed to be on your milestone for first senior attainment?
I am not.
You are not. Okay. So, by looking at this, by utilizing our program, so step number 7, which I consider step number 1, because the primary goal is what?
To get to the top.
Is to get to the top of shipping, right? So this is the mountain that we need to climb as a staff NCOIC, because these are our duties and our responsibilities as a staff NCOIC to what?
To make shipping.
To make shipping, right? Okay, so the whole thing about it is here are the 4 programs that we listed, right? EPPC, pool program, command recruiting program, high school program, right? So would you say that you are knocking it out of the park on the EPPC?
No.
No. Pool program,
No.
command recruiting,
I'm doing well.
you are doing extremely well. That's the kudos to you. Okay. High school community college program.
I'm not doing well.
You're not there. You're
Nope.
doing well, you're just not where you're supposed to be, right?
Yes.
Okay. So already when we start going from bottom to the top, you're going to start see things start falling apart. Okay? And what'll happen is that if we go in here and we go back and we train, you will start seeing everything starting to line up. Good?
Yes.
Okay. So the one thing right here is train recruiters. What is train recruiters? What are we talking about when the volume says train recruiters?
You know, ensure that they are equipped to, 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 take on the task of recruiting and making the mission, which is shipping, or attaining contracts to make shipping. So
Okay, so what are we training in?
we're training in MC3. We're training in the steps of becoming a great recruiter.
Okay, yeah, we're trying to help sales,
Yes.
right? MC3, right? We look at, and so for that, you know, we look at sales ratios, closing ratios, SOEs, all that good stuff for a recruiter, right? So if I pull up in McChris right now, right? I pull up in McChris and I look at the training jacket. What am I supposed to see?
Current training.
Current training,
Yes.
right? How many hours a month are you supposed to train?
4 hours.
4 hours a month, right? 4 hours of recruiter-related training, right? Towards getting better at their sales, MC3,
Yes.
right? Maybe we can teach them on one of the programs, right? But it's recruiter-related.
Mm-hmm.
So when I pull up your training jacket, right, am I going to see 4 hours of training?
No, you will not.
No, I'm not, right? See where this is going?
Yes.
Okay, so check this out, okay? So now we're going into maximizing prospecting, right? We're going into maximize prospecting. So, in your words, right, what is maximizing prospecting?
Making the most out of every event, making the most out of TCs, making the most out of area canvassing, making the most out of your high school community college visit, scrubbing your list, finding the next finding new applicants, finding
Okay.
ways to generate lists.
Okay, so on that note, right, which is you're on the right track here. On that note, when do we check for maximizing prospecting? When do we analyze it?
At the end of the month.
At the end of the month.
Yes.
Okay. So if I'm a recruiter, right, and I need to make 1,000 phone calls for the month.
Yes.
Okay. If I need to make 1,000 phone calls for the month, at the end of the month, you tell me I didn't meet my objectives.
No. You're supposed
No?
to. No.
So when do you do it?
You're supposed to do it daily.
Daily. That is the answer that I'm looking for right there. Okay. So when maximize prospecting, right? Daily, weekly, and monthly. Right?
Yes.
You do all three, right? But in order to maximize some prospect, when you're maximizing prospecting, right? If you wait for the week or for the month, you're going to get what? You're going to get behind.
Yes.
I'm telling you right now, right? So in the in brief is when maximizing prospecting is the most. You need to be able to do it at the in and in the out brief of your day.
Yes.
Okay? Because I need to be able to steer that recruiter into what? In the direction that it needs to go. Because we all know on recruiting duty, sometimes you have things that just throw you off track. There's going to be a day where a recruiter's not going to have that time to prospect because he's got PC, he's got a high school setup talk, he's got a career, whatever it might be. But so on a daily, you have to maximize prospect on a daily basis. Good?
Yes.
Okay. Are we doing that?
I would say yes.
Okay. Okay. So now setting objectives. What does setting objectives mean?
It's there are different ways you can set objectives. Setting objectives, hard numbers through McChris, through your monthly planning, through your missions. Setting individual objectives based off of their shortfalls or where you need them to increase to where they have. Consistent, effective use of their prospecting, like make sure that they increase their ACs. If they're harder to get a contract from ACing, you increase their objective for ACing to get them more familiarized with the ACing, or if they're lower on TCs.
Okay. So when I am setting objectives,
Yes.
okay, for my recruiters, I do it through McChris RSS.
That is correct.
Right? McChris RSS, if our numbers are put in correctly, all I got to do is punch in a number, right? And
That's correct.
it spits
It should
out our
spit out
objectives,
your
okay?
objectives, yes.
And I know we already went over this, but when you want to change those objectives, who do you have to call?
You must call the RI.
You have to call the RI, right? Okay. And then the RI is going to make those adjustments to whether it's realistic, right, or you're slave driving your recruiters and whipping them into prospecting. You just wear them down,
Yes.
so to speak, right? So, do we set objectives correctly?
Yes.
Okay. All right. And then we go into develop a plan, right?
Yes.
Develop a plan is when I say planning, what are we talking about?
Talking about setting your, organizing your day, your week, your month in sight.
Okay. Month in sight, what else?
Year in sight.
For the recruiter.
For the
For
recruiters.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, year in sight is done to the annual plan. We're not talking about
Correct.
that. We're talking on a monthly basis here.
On a monthly basis, develop a plan, training plan for recruiters.
Okay, month in sight,
Month in
training,
sight.
training plan, okay, week in sight, right?
Yes,
Right? Or we can just say S&R, right?
correct.
Okay. So, why is it important to plan?
So that they can maximize the usage of their programs. We can identify shortfalls, so we can also ensure that they're effectively working throughout the
Okay,
month.
effectively lurking. And as a staff NCOIC, why is this one of your responsibilities?
Because I have to supervise and ensure that they're making sound plans
Right.
based off of their.
Right. So recruiter makes the plan. Do we agree on that one?
That is correct.
Right? Recruiter makes the plan. Recruiter through McChris RSS. The staff NCOIC sets the working days. The recruiter takes from there and sets up his plan for the month. Correct?
Yes.
Okay. As a staff NCOIC, we have to approve it. Right? What are we looking for when we talk about the month and sites?
Looking for usage of their high school community college program, usage of prospecting, of their working file, all the systematic components of recruiting.
Okay. So if I'm staff NCOIC and I am looking at that, right?
Yeah.
I am staff NCOIC, I have to what? Approve it, right? So if I approve it, I am saying that recruiter should what?
Should meet his objective for contracting.
Right, because we put in there, we put prospecting in there, we put high school visits in there, we put everything we're talking about goes into what?
The month side.
The develop plan. So once I hit the approve button, right,
Yes,
everything should fall into place, right?
that is correct.
So as a staff NCOIC, are we mastered at this right now?
No.
No, okay. Okay, so, now, how this works, right? So how this works. If we have all green,
Mm-hmm.
right? Contracting should be what?
So,
Simple. A walk in the park, right? A walk in the park. And then if we make contracting and we don't take that low-hanging fruit and we're putting the best quality people into our depth, like our depth and stuff, they all come into this place right here, right?
yes,
But at the end of the day, if I'm putting good quality into contracting, what happens to shipping,
shipping becomes easy.
right? So these two should be a what? A check in the what?
Checking the box.
They should be a check in the box, right?
Yes.
So here's what I'm saying, staff NCOIC, because I know that you're one of the good ones here, right? Are you making contracting?
Yes,
Are you making shipping?
yes.
Then why do we have reds here?
I'm not effectively.
Well, no. But here's the whole thing, right? You can effectively hit this and hit this by having some reds in here,
Yes,
okay? But what you're going to do is you're going to wear yourself out. And you're going to wear your recruiters out. Because this is meant for systematic recruiting. So if I'm staff NCOIC and I utilize my programs, okay? So this is a training tool for the staff NCOIC. If I write this down, I'm saying, hey, look, I'm not doing well in EPPC, I'm not doing well in pool, I'm not doing well in the high school community college program, right? Then what I do is I what?
train recruiting.
I train.
Yes.
I train. That's my job because as staff NCOIC, I'm the primary trainer, right? So if I take the training and I get these into the green, right?
Yes.
First of all, if I get the EPPC, the pool, the command recruiting, the high school community college program all in the green, how many percentage of my contracts are going to be written? At least 60%,
Yes.
right? 60% of your contracts are going to be written. So right now your recruiters are hurting, right? They're literally what we call, you'll hear the term, make it happen, right? They're making it happen out there, right? But they're not being systematic around it. So it's your responsibility, staff NCOIC, to get these programs back into the thing. And the only way to do that is through training and accountability. Does that make sense? Okay? The accountability thing. So now we go into the maximizing prospecting, and that if you are not doing it on a daily basis, that 40% of recruiter-generated contracts that's supposed to come from the recruiter, right, is not going to happen because they're going to miss their objectives. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Right? Then setting the objectives is real simple. We just want to make sure there's some set of reasonable goals, achievable goals that they can get, right? And the last thing is right here. We got to plan for success. If you don't plan for success, it all what? Eventually comes falling down. Does it make sense?
Yes.
So what you have here, this right here is a perfect snapshot of a staff SNCOIC that is working. Him and his Marines are busting their butts making contracting and shipping. But eventually what you'll see happen is staff SNCOIC is going to break, right? Or a recruiter's going to break. Because they're literally putting in extra hours when if they got back to the basics and if the staff SNCOIC just understood the 7 responsibilities of what he or she is supposed to be doing, this right here is what?
Easy.
It's an easy day. Does that make sense?